Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hi, I'm Jim Zub, the writer of Rick and Morty vs. Cthulhu, and this is the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I like that he used Rick and Morty. I like that a lot.
I knew that would go over big with you too, yeah. Alright kids, welcome back to another week of the Capes and Lunatics. That's right, it's time for the Black Adam review.
I don't know, after this, after my hot take, we might have to change it to heroes and quotes. We might get run out of town.
Get ready for a salty take, kids. Alright, anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Black Adam's newest fan, it is...
Charlie the Professor Essa.
And... when you see her coming, tell her the woman in black sent you. It is...
Hey y'all, it's Lil Hellfire.
Alright, so, yes, we...
Did you introduce yourself there, Philip?
Yeah, I said I am Phil.
Okay.
The man who needs no introduction. Regis Philbin.
Phil Podcast Perich. That's, I don't know. You need a fancier name than just say, this is Phil.
I'm not a fancy man. So, yes.
Deep cut.
Yeah. So, we all saw a Black Adam on this opening weekend, and I believe the takes will vary, so who wants...
Yeah,
Charlie,
90%.
Charlie Esther, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I mean, okay, look, it's a film
Yes.
about a superhero. He gets into fights. He is kind of a loose cannon and a bad guy, but he's also a guy coming from freaking 5,000 years ago, where, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, that kind of whole storyline. And there's some adjustment. He has to learn our modern ways. It's just like when Conan gets brought forth to the 20th century and, you know, does not understand, just understands that your magics are weak. And, you know, he befriends a young boy, because you got to have that young, you know, every wrestling film, for anyone that's a fan of Barton Fink knows, you need a lady and a young boy to emulate on the wrestler, and it's the wrestler's struggle in the ring to tell that human passion story of the face and the heel turn, and then back to being the face. It's excellent. Kandak, I felt, was a very interesting take on a fictional country. I liked the fact that it wasn't just, you know, donkey carts and, you know, and superstitions. That, you know, we've got kick-flipping skateboarders and video games and rocket bikes by the evil intergang that is controlling the country. The Justice Society is cool. Let's be honest here. I like that they could rent out the X-Mansion for the weekend to shoot that. And, that was great. Love to see, you know, my uncle's kids make it in the superhero business as a legacy hero. So that's nice. And hey, the Fonz was in it. You got the Fonz in there, you know that's going to be a good.
The original Adam, yeah, I know.
Yes.
Hey,
careful the suit; it's vintage, you know. And yeah, you know, and I liked and it very much has a story about that urge to maintain order in the world at the cost of people that the first world isn't caring about. And maybe that's why, you know, they're willing to embrace a more violent form of government, because, you know, the Justice Society certainly didn't care about justice in Kandark prior to this, you know. And so, yeah, I felt there was a good growth, excellent character growth. I felt everything felt earned when we got there. Yes, there's a lot of jokes and a lot of silliness, and there were a lot of scenes in there where I could just hear Ryan George doing the pitch meeting saying, "Oh, it'll be super easy, barely an inconvenience," But that's okay, because every film gets that. And, I would say this is one of the DCEU's better films. Definitely.
Well,
when the bar's in hell, it's not that hard.
I was going to say
do.
that's a low bar, so yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I would put this up against, I would definitely put this up against Thor: The Dark World, easy.
Again, low bar.
Well, yeah, but still, that's a Marvel movie, and
Yeah.
it's one that was important. That's the thing. It's like all these films, they have a place in it.
Yeah.
And for its weaknesses, I think that it sold itself. I think they sold the drama to the crowd.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'm probably going to
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson knows how to play.
I'm probably going to be between the two of you. I mean, it's better than I thought it was going to be. Maybe just my expectations for DCEU movies have been so low, but I mean, I saw a review. It's perfect. It said it's a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson action movie. Except this time he has superpowers. But yes, it's a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson action movie. It'll probably hold the #1 spot at the box office until Wakanda Forever comes out, and then it'll drop off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's to be expected.
Yeah.
That's why they put a couple weeks between them.
Yeah, well, I think they said there's no real major competition because that was #1 this weekend. #2 is that George Clooney and Julia Roberts movie.
Yeah, well, that's good. Nice to see George Clooney doing well for himself.
They had to give the old people something, a good old fashioned rom-com for Ticket to Paradise. So.
Yeah.
No, because people have been complaining that there's that Hollywood doesn't put out rom-coms anymore. So.
Well, Hollywood likes to make money, and superhero stuff makes more money,
Well, no, rom-coms...
That used to not always be the case. We don't have actual Ever since Ryan Reynolds went into the action genre, we really haven't had, a Sandra Bullock-style rom-com thing. Yeah. And so they've been testing the waters with that. That's all that I'm... Anyway, sorry.
No, it's fair. It's a fair criticism.
Oh wait. So, how many old people do you think went to the ticket booth and said?
A lot of people.
No.
At my movie theater, there was a lot of people there.
How many do you think went to the ticket booth and said, "Give me 2 tickets to Paradise"?
Well, I live in Florida, and Jimmy Buffett is a thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and not for nothing. That is entirely part of their marketing campaign.
Exactly.
They knew their audience and they marketed to it. Much to
just like Black Adam, yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
These are people, they said, you know what? We know who you are. We know what we're going to give you. And here's the thing you ordered. It's, you go to the restaurant, you look at the menu, you would say, I would like one superhero, please, one rom-com, please. And I don't know, but one later age rom-com, please. Especially if the two fighting people get back together. That's always the one you want. You want to get that romance. But, and that's the thing. It's formulaic.
It's in the Ocean's 11 universe, and you can't take that headcanon away from me.
That'd be good. But, okay. I mean, okay, not to skip ahead, and I know exactly probably what Lilith is going to say, but it's why are we setting up Black Adam to fight Superman? He's Shazam's villain?
Well... Because, I mean, it's first off, bold of you to assume they're going to fight, Phil.
Well, I see.
Yeah, Phil.
I know. Well, tell the
you're thinking like Amanda Waller. Kal-El's coming in there. He's like, hey, he says to him, it's been a long time since someone's gotten people this scared, referencing himself. He is referencing himself in that, and he's saying, dude, I get it. You're a scary guy, and I understand that. Because that's what they thought about me. But he's actually looking past that, and he says, just like Captain America said in What If Conan were trapped in the 21st century, in a world without freedom or hope, might that not be the shape of a hero? And that is Kal-El coming to make peace.
Well, yes. Well, yes,
Waller
because
wants war, Kal-El wants peace.
Yes, because Black Adam is so reasonable, and yes, that was sarcasm.
Yeah, no, well, what makes you think he's not? He's grown a lot. He learned the freaking language everyone's speaking within the first 5 minutes of the movie, so...
Save one to interrogate. He's dead, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know. See, it's technically not in. It's technically off screen if they're so far away you don't see them explode
Or hit the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So this.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I know Zachary Levi is throwing up and crying on a wall, so he's like, that was supposed to be my goddamn cameo.
Well, what was that? Them saying, "Oh, look, Cavill's going to be back. Cavill's going to be back."
Yeah,
but he's not. That Witcher contract's not going to allow it. Sorry.
Then why keep that in the movie?
Yeah, no, I mean
for word of mouth,
bait and switch.
No, look. Okay, so and a couple of fun facts in this. First off, the reason why Waller isn't reaching out to Shazam is probably literally Shazam is even more of a loose cannon than Black Adam.
14-year-old boy, check.
Yeah, you know, it's someone that is no doubt going to be harder to deal with. Kal-El, she knows she can talk to.
Yes, but let's send in Superman, who's vulnerable to magic, to confront Black Adam, who's literally crackling with magic.
Well, first off, he's not vulnerable to magic.
Yeah, yes, he is.
He's just no less vulnerable to magic than everyone else.
Yes.
It's a common misconception that he's vulnerable to magic. Just like Black Adam is vulnerable to, what is it?
Eternium.
Eternium, you know? That's his kryptonite, you know? So they both got a magical rock. That if you hit him with a magical rock, it's going to make them feel bad. But they both seem to survive getting hit with these magical rocks. So maybe there's an argument to be said that this is a bit more of an even fight than it could be.
Then it should be.
And I know we've done Eternium in the comics, but every time I heard it, I was just waiting for He-Man to show up.
Yes. Well,
I know. The rights holder was like, damn it, if we could just get some of that DC money on a copyright infringement.
Although,
what DC money?
I love the fact that the jet that Hawkman has is made entirely out of nth metal.
Yes.
Down to the screws, baby.
Down to the screws, which is first off, like, that's insane because it is superpower metal, and where is he getting it all from?
Again,
from his planet.
I was going to say again, we don't get his origin. Is he Thanagarian?
We're dropped, in Mesray. Like, there's a lot of history that we're just glossing over here.
But it's okay. See, and that's the thing. It's okay to gloss over history. We've established that there's a Justice Society. They've been fighting for a long time. Like, this is what DC should have done from the start. Establish that this is a universe where heroes are a thing.
And I know
there are superheroes, and this is just a story that's going to take place in a universe of superheroes. You know what superheroes are.
Yeah, but everybody's so niche that I heard a lot of people whispering, what the heck's going on? Who is this? Who is that? Especially like, the lower tier people. Sorry to the younger generation of the JSA, but I'm like, everybody's like, I don't know. That seems made up. A lot of people say, I don't think that's in the comics. And I'm just like kind of laughing.
Well, that's my thing. I know
it's all made up.
I know that.
No, like as in not canon to anything specifically.
Oh God. But no, I know they don't want to overwhelm us with JSA, but I'm like, really?
Like JSA deserves first of all, a little more.
You're sending a team against someone with like Superman level powers. I'm like, okay, you're going to send 2 veterans and 2 rookies. I'm like,
somebody with freaking air kinesis? Are you freaking kidding me?
Hey,
yes, she's smart. We need a brain. I get it, but like both, Kent and Hawkman are kind of like smart too. So it's just
Lilith, Lilith, we got to compete. We're pretty soon we're going to have a female Black Panther and Riri Williams.
I know they were giving us Valkyrie with that one. Look, listen, I know better than anybody. Yeah. They were like, we need a Valkyrie. Gotcha, check. That's a checkbox, and I don't appreciate it, but it was cool.
Well, it's a checkbox. Just because it's a checkbox doesn't mean it doesn't.
But she was also very bland and underdeveloped, so. That is definition of a checkbox, and
that's one of my lows. Is like I don't think.
And the other guy was too, to be fair. And they only put him in there because he is like a Netflix teen rom-com heartbreaker or whatever. He didn't. Yeah. He had like 2 minutes of screen time total or something.
Look. Let's be clear. This was The Rock's movie and Pierce Brosnan's.
Unfortunately.
Well, okay. Yeah, hey, you can have an opinion on The Rock, and that is your opinion on The Rock.
Well, were they building? Are they building that brand where it's like, oh, if you don't like Superman because he's too clean cut, are they trying to bring people in like, oh, hey, Black Adam's for you?
Like, we're not gonna get a second Black Adam movie. Like, whatever.
First off, I mean, look, I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know what we're going to get. I don't think anyone at Warner's knows what Warner's is going to get, because Warner's doesn't even know if they're going to exist in 2 weeks,
Well, first of all, Warner's will always exist.
We'll see what happens.
That brand is way too powerful, but like...
We'll see what happens or doesn't happen next year. Flash.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're committed to that, babes. Unfortunately. There's no stopping
Even if Ezra gets locked up?
Especially if Ezra gets locked up. What are you talking about?
Honestly, no, that would make their life so much easier. If he could just go away to a retreat somewhere and do a whole, juice cleanse or something, that would be perfect. It's like, Ezra has had a lot of problems, we know, but finally Ezra's getting the help Ezra needs.
They need, yeah.
Yeah. And
so there's so much in flux, and I know specifically because of Rock's ambitions that more than likely this movie was supposed to be put out 10 years ago, 12 years ago actually, to be specific, which is why the movie feels a little dated with the skateboarding and all the weird references. And if you notice the posters in the background, not quite up to the new DC logos and stuff.
New 52. New 52.
If you notice the posters in the background, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
I know.
I mean, it took a long time, but you know what? Like I said, sometimes things that take a long time.
And so now it's like his management team with his ambitions are probably going to be like, well, you're probably going to want to cut ties. Your contractual obligation is over. Like even the press tour that he went on is just very mellow and muted compared to any other, including the Fast and Furious after he had the follow with Vin Diesel. So.
Going to blow up, and it is going to. And I saw it in the difference between when I went on Saturday in a theater that was nearly empty, and when I went today in a theater where I thought I wasn't even going to be able to get a seat for it. I wasn't going to be able to get 3 seats together, and I was able to, fortunately. But it is just this difference it's a difference a day makes, because suddenly the hype is now, oh no, this is a good film. This is a film you want to see. This is not, who cares what the critics are saying? Because the critics are maybe looking for something that they don't need to be looking for in a film like this. And it's not to say that the critics aren't wrong to want every film to be Citizen Kane, but that you don't always want to. I like Citizen Kane. I don't want to watch it every night. Sometimes I want to watch. Sometimes I want to watch Fast and the Furious. Sometimes I want to, which I actually never do. But sometimes I want to watch Shazam. Sometimes I want to watch.
Well, that's your loss, and that's like your opinion, man.
Okay, well, no, and it's fine. Hey, people like it. I don't fault anyone for liking Fast.
Exactly, it's a vibe. It's just not my vibe. I feel like this movie was just put out way too late. All the hype died down. Like this could have been their like $1 billion movie. Really, honestly, had it been put out in time. It's just wrong place, wrong time, and The Rock is a little long in the tooth, and it kind of shows in a lot of the action, and the CGI was really bad, like really bad.
I mean, I'm coming off She-Hulk here, so I'm not going to be building a lot of.
Well, that's a TV show, and this is a movie, so.
Yeah, no, I mean there were a couple scenes where the artificialness does bleed through, and if you're the kind of person that dwells on that. That is going to be a problem for you. I'm not the kind of person who dwells on that. I am not a fridge logic person. I am in the movie. I'm eating my popcorn. I'm watching a movie. That's what I paid for. That's what I'm seeing.
But I also want a professional product and something put together with care. This just seemed really kind of like hurried. Like the production values were, they were okay, but like I was expecting more. Like I would have expected The Rock to like kind of demand a little bit more. Seeing how he was like a producer on the film and stuff.
Like I said, and again, comparing this to, like I said, sure, there are some low bars we can compare it to, but I would say that this was as good of a superhero film as I expected it to be. Are there some scenes where the color's off? It does sometimes the action move faster, so it's harder to get a pin on things. Yes, but that's also part of the bait and switch of the illusion of the presentation. I mean,
bland generic. If you like bland and generic, perfect movie for you. And I was the biggest thing that pissed me off is the fact that he actually, like, I knew they weren't going to go the comic book route where he was actually they were going to give us Doom vibes, and he was actually, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sit on this throne, I'm going to rule, because, you know, we can't have that because it's The Rock. Had it been anybody else, they would have gone that route.
Well, that's the thing.
And it would have been a worse film for it.
Yeah, well,
I don't think so.
I don't know. Well, that's
if you know the character of Black Adam, it just makes sense.
And that's an interesting thing that I think is the selling point. And this is something that, you know, I had made mention to a friend online today, because, you know, there was this idea that, because a lot of my friends, you know, online, present company accepted,
all of them
are enjoying this film, really feel this was a triumph. And one of my friends said, you know, they have a hard time with their big name characters because there's too much suit interference. I actually take a different tack, because the reason I think Shazam worked very well, why I think Peacemaker worked well, why I think this works well, which, you know, of course, these are all non-DC characters. These are Fawcett and Charlton characters. What I think works for them is that people know they're superheroes, but the amount of people who are, like, canonically invested in it is a smaller group. And because they're a smaller group, they're either A, just happy to be on the team, like Hulk fans were for many years, or B, are just, you know, if they're going to complain, it's a small group that's complaining, because most people, this is their introduction to who Black Adam is. This is now Black Adam, and that is the Black Adam they want to see. And it is a very good Black Adam.
I agree with you, but I get Lilith's point, or it's the same thought I had, where it's like they want to do like the anti-hero thing, but yet they don't steer.
I don't think they know what that word means, period.
They don't steer completely in the skid. Yeah, he should have sat on that throne if that's what they're doing. Don't be cracking the jokes and stuff. I mean,
no, the jokes are fine because that's The Rock. The Rock's going to do what The Rock's going to do because he does come from that wrestling background, and they were very much giving us the heel babyface turn, obviously.
Yeah.
Although
again, sometimes things are just too obvious and generic and basic, and it's like, okay.
Although I do like what they did. Like, if you aren't familiar with Black Adam, so like in the beginning you thought it was going to be the kid, you know, from the flashback in the beginning as Black Adam, and then no, it turns out it's his son. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's a bait and switch. It's how you tell a story, Phil.
Yeah.
You know?
But
you gotta set up one thing, you establish something, and then you show throughout it as you're weaving the myth that, oh, that's the myth you have, but we have other myths that kind of tell a different story, and then we get an entirely third story that no one knew because it was Black Adam's story itself.
And it wouldn't be a DC movie if it weren't built on the backs of dead relatives.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you know,
that's any superhero story to be fair.
Well, yeah, but
just about.
Billionaires and adult orphans.
At least his wife's name wasn't Martha. Okay, like let's just be thankful for small.
That might have been the Martha of its day. You don't know. You don't know.
You know. Yeah, and honestly, that is a biblical name. So you know, it's Medea. You know. No, but you know, like I said, like to me, and that's the thing. It's like the fat uncle who I did love, but also, you know, he's a comic relief uncle. Mm-hmm. Although I do like the point where he comes in at the end and says, "Don't worry, I die by electricity."
Like, as he's battling the zombies and stuff, he's like, don't worry, I die by electricity.
Which was like just these are the legions of hell. It's like we were supposed to he commands the legions of hell. It's like, okay, you know, I guess they didn't know they were going to work today. There was a big bender in hell the night before, and they were like, "Oh man, what today? Today's the day."
But that's
supposed to be next week, right, guys?
But that's the thing, you know. If the Rock was more comfortable, he could have played the straight man and had everyone else do the comedy around him and played the straight man. Sometimes that's the funniest part is, you know, the guy who doesn't get the joke.
His comedy is very deadpan, which is typical for the straight man. You know, there's different kinds of straight men. You know, one straight man is...
I know it.
Hey-oh!
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
Yes.
I saw the opening and I took it.
Hey-oh!
My favorite biscuit.
Although in that context, I actually spell straight differently because that's a whole thing with the way I use language.
my favorite
I don't
biscuit.
refer to the orientation as straight, S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T. I always write straight there as S-T-R-A-I-T, because there's nothing specifically morally straight about being heterosexual. It's just a word that we use, so I just use that other version of straight, because that's fair enough. They're straight. Anyway, I'm a big language nerd, so there are hills I die on that people think you're spelling that wrong. It's like, no, I'm spelling it exactly how it should be. You just don't understand what's going on in my head and why I'm spelling it that way. There's a whole conversation to get.
Well, that escalated quickly.
You can be the straight man who feeds the line, or you can be the straight man who is just deadpan in their delivery.
They almost had it right, though. I just want to say with like who they chose, because like when you think about that specifics, one of the biggest Black Adam storylines, it's like, Hawk Girl's there, Mr. Terrific. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh, you're so close. And I was hoping we were going to get to see Nabu, but whatever.
Yeah.
I will say this is the best looking Hawkman ever.
Of course. Aldous Hodges, like, you mean the costume? Never mind.
Well, I'd say both.
He's a handsome man. I'm not arguing with that.
Both.
I love him as a billionaire genius. I love him as an adamantine or an nth metal Iron Man, because that's very much the vibe you get from him. That it's like, oh no, yes, I have this magic armor, but also it is literally magic and it is indestructible.
I'm so glad they got Dr. Fate, like made him so cool, and it was Pierce Brosnan, and I was like, Daddy's home. Oh, he only signed on to one film. Okay. To be fair, at that point, me too, because it is a burning building over there, so I get it, but so good. But like, I don't want to see all these new Dr. Fate fans. Go read the books. I know the movie was cool, but read the books. The books are better, actually. And then I heard somebody whisper, Constantine's going to be pissed, and I started giggling because he died. He's like, I was just like, oh, somebody gets it.
First off, he died in the helmet.
That opens the door for Zatanna. Well, her father, and then her, but yeah.
Or you know what, Lil? So you really want to go old school? They said Pierce Brosnan was wearing a wedding ring, so you could do Nelson. Yeah, his wife.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, there's all sorts of things. Yeah, I think he's.
But Pierce Brosnan stole the show. I was expecting Aldous Hodges to steal the show, and he did. But like Pierce Brosnan with his quiet, subtle charm, just yes.
Oh, those two were the best part of the movie.
And I was like, they killed the bromance that soon? That was going to be the Tony and the... What are you doing? It was going to be Science Bros, but like instead Magic Bros. Yeah, what are you doing?
Because he's old, Lilith.
I know he was too old for this.
Lilith.
We knew the Murtaugh when we saw it, okay? We knew it.
Lilith, he was 2 days away from retirement.
And he sacrificed himself so his friend could live and have a long, healthy life.
Yes, of course.
Of course, if ironically, this Carter Harl is the one that just keeps on reincarnating, kind of defeats its own purpose. I was waiting for that when the guy said, "You're going to die." When he realized he's going to die, he says, "Oh, I wish you'd have said that before." And he laughs, and it's like,
if you know, you know.
Maybe you guys need to have a real heart-to-heart about what all these things mean. Because, again, that's also the thing with...
It's like we're going to... Also, I was like, you locked him up just to settle... You knew you were going to have to set him free! Like, come on! Are we all here? We're just over here stroking Amanda Waller's ego, and that's the last thing she needs, clearly.
You know what?
Although, I liked seeing Amanda Waller being depicted as something other than just a villain.
Evil? Yeah.
Yeah, because she shouldn't... To me, Amanda Waller works best when she is Nick Fury.
I think that's what they were going for. Yeah.
They scaled it back from Peacemaker for sure.
Yeah, she's not just a sociopath, or like what they recently did with her. I did not like that whole Earth 2 thing.
Yeah, nobody liked it.
That is not my Amanda Waller. Honestly, I don't think they've had a good Amanda Waller since New 52 when they made her skinny. Yeah, I really, that was not my Amanda Waller. My Amanda Waller is the hardworking bureaucrat who is trying to keep these freaking superheroes in check.
New 52 ruined a lot of things, my friend.
Jonah Jameson. That is my Amanda Waller, and that is the best Amanda Waller. So, and this one gave me those vibes, I work with the heroes that listen, and if they don't listen, I'm going to...
You get locked up! You go into jail. Underwater jail.
And by the way, I love that there's like dozens of those cells, and many are occupied. And it's like,
she's been a busy little bee.
Well, you get these people that you got to deal with,
Yeah, they locked them up.
Every so often, these gods wake up, and we got to bury them back again.
They locked them up, and that movie wasn't over. You're like, oh yeah, I know it's coming.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. But
but it would have been great if they had not like Harley Quinned it up and like, well, yeah, the JSA is capable and save that for the sequel. But no, The Rock's in it. So, like I said, had this been anybody else, we could have gotten more focus on the JSA, aka like the Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey movie. One of those things.
But again, it's about the story and about him sacrificing himself to be born again when the time needs. Because he had to realize why he had gone through all this. He had to go to the land of the dead and have his kids say, Dad, it's not your time, go back, save the world, or at least save the day, And they do that whole thing with this about, heroes don't kill, and he says, too bad, I do, Like I said, that's why he's not a hero, he's a champion. And he doesn't want to rule Kahndaq, because, that's not who he is. The people can rule themselves, we just need to not have
Since when?
evil people trying to run everything. In fact, they even make the statement that Kahndaq is the first self-ruling place in existence. They really up that utopia vibe of before King Atar, which is classic for mythology,
Yeah, it was kind of hilarious because everybody was all shocked at him. I'm like, bro, it's literally the same guy. Why are we gasping? Like, the makeup was not that good, guys. What are you doing?
I actually thought it was, though. I did not get that immediately. I'll be honest with you. But then again, I'm not very good with faces. Some people are really good with faces, and they're going to recognize the differences.
It's kind of like when it was when it was Ares and Wonder Woman. I'm like, guys.
Well, they kind of hid Ares' face through his earlier scenes, Like, only if you know who's casting things. Like, if you don't really know. And again, it's about suspension of disbelief, This, it's like, that can't be. That can't be Superman. Clark Kent can't be Superman. Superman doesn't wear glasses. What are you talking about?
At least Intergang is smarter in this movie instead of just, oh, hey, let's set up shop in Metropolis. They went and,
yeah.
They were smart. They took over a third world country
that nobody was going to care about. Yep, exactly.
But that had resources everyone wanted.
And politics, yeah.
It
was giving what if Wakanda? Colonized vibes.
That is exactly what it was. It was, you know what? This is why Wakanda stayed hidden all these years. It's good to fight, but sometimes you got to deal with this stuff because unfortunately the world is evil and cruel.
But Intergang, they dug deep. They're like, what can we use that we haven't ruined yet? Oh, I know, Intergang.
I mean, if you
honestly, to me, that just made me happy because it's like, yes, this is a really good use for this thing. Let's make them Hydra. Let's make them the secret organization that tries to rule the universe or some nonsense. Intergang worked for me.
They could have went balls to the wall like they've done before with Intergang in the comics and had them work with Apocalypse, and just, because at that point.
But I was like, the bikes, I just kind of chuckled. I was like, okay, I see what kind of movie this is going to be instantly. Thank you for the warning. Thank you for the warning.
But that's the thing, man. You got magical technology. Let's be magic. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I'm like, okay.
But
they're leaning fully into it. Cool.
There are things that make sense in the why did the guy turn off the Eternium shield that no one can get through just as he shoots the kid? It's like, wait, that's stupid. Now, didn't that just screw up his whole thing? It's like that was the plan the whole time, and I didn't even get that. I just thought that was I was sitting there like, oh, that was a silly. I'm sitting there like a wrestling commentator. Oh, how are they gonna come back from that one? I felt like Mean Gene Okerlund watching that scene. Like, because it's written backwards.
Yeah, and I was like, Santana's gonna come in the third hour. Yes, in the 13th hour, do it. No.
Well, you know what? And again, and to that extent, Lilith, this is maybe where the limitations got put on the film because it's like, no, we got to save those. You got to save all. We can't let Shazam come into this film. We can't let.
Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure it was in The Rock's clause. No 13-year-old kid's gonna beat his character. Period. So, I mean, he was very involved with the writing process and the first like couple drafts and stuff. And he came on to be a producer, giving a lot of money. So therefore, he had a lot of say, not just being like the main star.
And to that extent, that is why we're getting a very different Black Adam story, because we're getting a Black Adam story that is a classic wrestling tale, of from parts unknown with secret origins, and here's the big mystery reveal, and now, oh no, he's been defeated. How will he come back? Wait, what is that? It is the crowd, and the crowd goes, wow!
And I was like, bro, when they were doing the revolt, I was like, Jay-Z's gonna be so pissed, or the Deltas are gonna say something.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Confirmed, yeah.
Hey, Lil, you know what? If they're not going to throw him against Shazam, instead of Superman, they did the whole JSA thing. You know who they should have had set him up for the next big grudge match? Power Girl.
Ooh, but we don't even have a Supergirl in the DCEU. I mean, we kind of do, but we kind of don't. Not yet, allegedly.
Yeah, Flash is doing something with that.
Yeah. Well,
allegedly.
Eventually, we're all going to get. See, and this is what I'm going to say. This is
make her Dax.
This is the kind of film that's going to glue things together. Because, and again, this is this idea, and again, this is a film that it is pulling heavily from the Snyderverse. That's a Batfleck and a Momoa and everybody in there from the Snyderverse coming into this, and also pulling heavily from the Shazam established canon. So that we see that there is a superhero industrial complex. Gee, I wonder who publishes all those comic books. Wayne Industries.
No, it's Star Labs.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a nod to the Arrowverse. It's going to be Star Labs that has all the merch rights.
So, someone's got the merch rights. I mean, it'd be sad if Batman let that go because they're publishing.
Bruce doesn't want any extra paper trails besides his, hey, doesn't Wayne Tech have a military research? Doesn't that seem like a military prototype, that Batmobile? Like, he's like, no, I can't be making money off superheroes on top of that.
What is this line item billion?
Why does Bruce own Clark Kent's farm? What is going on here?
What is this $1 billion line item of some kind of base on the moon?
So he's trying to as much as he can. Possible
that's what shell corporations are for. That's Grayson Industries. Don't you know that?
Well, listen, if you got a good enough forensic accountant, you can trace all the shell companies.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But that's why he pays those lobbyists to make sure that nobody has a good
touche on that one, good
why
sir.
Do you think Gotham PD is so underfunded?
This is why we
make sure they can't hire an accountant.
This is why we're playing ball with Amanda Waller.
Yes.
Anyway, good film.
I'm just glad that DC got a win because God knows they needed it. That's the only thing I'm happy about. I hope this emboldens them to not be so dark and dank in the Snyderverse, and because we could actually see the film. That's the one nice thing that I can say. It was bright. It was sunny. I could see all the action for the most part. Mm-hmm. Even in places where maybe we should have kind of toned down the lighting so we couldn't see how bad the CGI was, but they stuck to it, and God bless them.
Well, we said it before, this and Peacemaker, I think it's showing them that they don't have to be dark and gritty every time.
Yeah.
And Shazam,
you can still be dark, but you don't have to be gritty, because Peacemaker's dark.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the thing. It's like, finish your thoughts, Lilith. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. That's okay.
Well, I was going to say, you don't have to be Batman 66, but you can be Batman 89, which is dark, but it's not really gritty. We're still going to fight a clown. We still fight a clown, right? Yes, of course we fight a clown. A sociopathic clown. Is there any other kind?
I thought the Shazam trailer was great, by the way, if you guys got that at your theater.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, please.
So, we got so many trailers.
See, I know, us too, because we had to go to a new theater because our old one closed. It was like almost a half an hour of trailers. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So the theater that I go to, the reason why it's still open and still profitable is because it's literally reserve your seats only, and they only have one person worth the concession stand. Yeah, so like there's nobody to take your ticket. You have to go to like the machine, and there's nobody that even takes your ticket. So I'm just like, the heck?
Oh yeah, that's like all the ones around here anymore. It's like half the time if you go like to like one of the first shows, which we did, it's like go buy your tickets at the concession stand.
Yeah, that's fine. That's like there's a theater like that near mine, but it's not like fancy. It's just like
this one has the reclining seats, and I'm just like, well, I'll be really sad because it's the only one like within like a 20-minute drive of me that has like the reclining seats and stuff like that. All the other ones are like old school theaters.
Yeah.
You don't have any AMC's over there?
We do, but like I don't want to leave my Lexus in the parking lot kind of deal.
Oh, it's one of those kind of AMC's, yeah. Because that was it's actually interesting. Like the Dolby is where you get the reclining seats. Those are nice. The IMAX actually had like I was not pleased with the IMAX seats I saw it on.
Ooh.
Well, that's mostly because I'm a gigantically fat man, and they didn't even have the armrest that moved up.
No, that is an absolute must in a modern establishment. I am sorry, it is an absolute must.
Yeah, there's a lot of bars that don't do that. Yeah.
I can sit a smaller person next to me if I can just move the armrest. It's fine.
But I was really happy to see that they actually did do that end credit scene because they have two more. They'll probably release those particular deleted scenes probably in another couple weeks. But I was glad that they went with that one because I wasn't sure if they were going to do that because everything is in flux. Yeah. So. Well, especially with Henry Cavill specifically, a lot of things are still in flux. So,
yeah, but we'll see what happens.
I'm just excited for Shazam. Like honestly, that second movie actually looks pretty good. It's about family.
It's like family because he's seen he's seen every Fast and the Furious film.
Exactly. I was like, oh, he gets it.
They better start.
It's for a younger generation. Well, if you're one of these kids, if I was a kid, I'd probably like, oh yes, the racy cars. I get
it. They better start making any sequels they want of that movie because I mean that kid who plays Billy Batson's aging up, so they better
quickly.
Well, eventually he's just gonna get in an RV with.
So you gotta get a guy that's already. You gotta do the Tom Holland where they're 26, but they're gonna look 14 until they're 50.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of times you get like these kid actors and like you don't know, like a year or two, he could be a foot taller and his voice could be down here. Yeah,
like look what happened to the kid that played Bruce on Gotham. Like he's as tall as freaking Ben now.
But I think that worked for Gotham because I see that's the thing. It's like with Batman, it works.
He literally grew into the role.
Yeah, it's like, but and Billy Batson, he can get to be a full-grown adult and turn into.
What is this, Kingdom Come?
That defeats the whole purpose.
What is this, Kingdom Come?
Exactly. Like, no, I don't. Oh, I always wanted them to do that in live action, but
the budget on
not
that
now.
thing would be.
That was my dream movie when I was like 15. I'm pretty sure I have like 3 screenplays somewhere around here revolving on how to adapt that to screen.
The only clean things on that hard drive.
See, my dream movie is still Dazzler the movie, but that's okay.
I swear there is like a script floating around. I don't know if it was like a made-for-TV movie, but like there is a Dazzler script floating around the internet somewhere.
Yeah, well, the original graphic novel for Dazzler was called Dazzler the movie, and it's great because it's weird because it's at the same time. Like I read that at the same time that Dick Tracy came out. There was the whole thing with Madonna and whatever that guy's name is.
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty, and like in it, it's like Dazzler is seduced by this older, fancy gentleman called Roman Nekabo, and it was weird. It's like, wait a minute, how is this?
What is this, modern Hollywood?
Yeah, well, it was interesting, but yeah, so. But that was always when I was a kid, I really felt that was a perfect vehicle, perfect film to make because it was all about backstage Hollywood stuff, with superheroes and mutants, like you have mutants and superheroes and Maybe let's make a movie about that. Let's talk about the superhero industrial complex, basically.
I mean, honestly, think about it. Yeah, most of like the main major heroes are like, American. So that would make sense with the military industrial complex that we have. That just kind of goes hand in hand. I kind of like the commentary that they were trying to give, but at the same time, you can tell that it wasn't written from a genuine perspective. So I was glad that they stayed as vague as possible about it.
Yeah. Well, and also Vegas, because Vegas timeless.
Yeah, you're not going to date your movie, yeah.
Well, if you're talking anything about American-related politics, everything that's old is new again. So just waiting on Biden to have a blowjob at this point.
Whoa!
We're overdue for a sex scandal in the White House by my prediction. So
I don't know, man. If Trump couldn't get it up, I don't
Whoa!
For Biden.
He was getting it up with the McDonald's, if we're all being honest.
It's
that's a whole nother scandal.
If someone's going to have a sex scandal in the White House, you would think it would be Donald Trump, and he didn't. He was amazingly sex scandal free. So big props to Big Donald.
In office, Phil. In office.
Okay, in office. Okay.
Yeah, in office.
I was going to say there were porn stars. Okay.
Well,
in office, Phil.
Yeah, that's not even a sex scandal.
He was married at the time.
Somebody not abiding by their NDA, as far as I'm concerned, which is more shame on her than shame on him.
But no, he was married at the time. He had a pregnant wife, and
yeah. But it's more professional. It's less untoward than if you're sleeping with an intern. So
exactly, abuse of power. That's the real scam.
Yeah, but back in the day, man, just having an affair on your wife.
Well, our society is crumbling morally. Phil, what do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, anyway, but that's showbiz. Okay. Do you want to talk comic books, or we want to get out of here?
I mean, if everyone wants to throw out like one or two real quick, go ahead.
Or do we want to? Oh, actually, we should probably grade the film.
Yes, grade. I was gonna say let's do some grades.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a solid A-, high A-. It was.
Ooh.
I really enjoyed the film. I'm not gonna say it was a perfect film, but even Endgame has its problems. Even Infinity War has its problems. Even Winter Soldier has its problems. And this one, A-.
I'll give it a B. B-.
Yes.
B-.
B for Black Adam?
Yes. B. Black Adam minus.
I know. I mentioned that. And Tristan was like to make the point that feels that the child was too okay with murder. But as I said, if you grew up in Kandak and ruled by Intergang and your father was murdered,
you played too much Grand Theft Auto.
Maybe for all of your brightness and joy, you're gonna be okay with a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, but no, I gave it a B-. I thought it was on par with like maybe some of the better Fox X-Men movies.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Lilith.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a C for Cyclone, as in the character who you wouldn't even know was the granddaughter of Abigail Hunkle, aka Red Tornado. Justice for Cyclone.
If you read that screen when she checked in at the mansion real quick, you would know. But if you blink and you miss it,
yeah.
No, that's just an Easter egg for those who came to pay attention. Her costume isn't even red. That's the only thing that bothered me about that. But I guess it's not red in the comic books either. So.
Well, she's Cyclone, not Red Tornado.
Exactly.
Oh, exactly. I know. I understand. And apparently, there's a whole thing. So that's the thing. Is that there was a bunch of great teasers that I hope eventually lead to more stories with this character. Like, there was an evil scientist who kidnapped her and did experiments.
We're not doing origin films anymore. That's what that's about.
We can go back to it later, man. That's fine.
Do they have the balls to do Tio Morrow?
I doubt it. That's a little too close to home. If you know, you know. So yeah, we're definitely not getting that story. Okay, what comic book did you want to talk about, Charlie?
I know Charlie's sitting all.
I want to talk Miracle Man. Miracle Man number 1. If you read Miracle Man number 0, you were excited about this, man. And I think these are all new books. I don't know because I never read Miracle Man. I know the basic plot line, but I also know that this seems to be like referencing all the stuff that happened in the original Miracle Man runs, but these are different. It is basically like a weird, all the Earth is but one island kind of thing, and we have all these superpowered beings, and they're fighting, and they are literally just fighting for fun. It's weird. We get this backdrop with young Miracle Man. as opposed to Kid Miracle Man. And they reference, as they're going through all this, Miracle Man has a daughter named Winter. We see these other characters, like, because each one has their own superpower. And this one, what's her name? I'm forgetting her name, but she basically is like controlling the images of everything. This woman here who looks like a 1970s cyborg. But I also like this guy who's apparently a shapeshifter, but each word he uses transforms him into something different, including when he says xylophone to turn himself back into a bat. Young Miracle Man was destroyed in the big atom bomb explosion, yada, yada, yada. You get this, reality that young Miracle Man is not dealing well when it gets revealed that everything he knew was a lie and that 1950s comics code veneer of his life is well gone. And then all the other superheroes go back to fighting, and one becomes a Cthulhu. So that's fun. And then you get a bunch of art pages, which, if you like art, is good. It's not my thing, but, I paid the extra bucks for it. But that's good. I really like Miracle Man. I like what they're doing with the story. And I really enjoy it. Oh, by the way, one quick reference I want to make, just because Miracle Man reminds me so much of the Sentry, which, of course, came after Miracle Man, I'm well aware. But I did like in Black Adam when he, spoilers, rips the guy in half out of the Sentry. So that was awesome. For me, that's worth your 2 bits to go in to see the show.
Lilith?
I guess I'll talk about the best DC book nobody's reading except for probably me and you, Phil, and that's Rogues #4.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even finish it yet.
So,
but
you gotta, I love that they're like, oh, you think you were gonna make a deal with Grodd? He was gonna hold it up? You idiots! Why do you always end up in freaking Blackwater Penitentiary? You guys are idiots! And now their backs against the wall, the heroes aren't gonna save them, and they're like, okay, Grodd, we'll do whatever you want. I love it. The rogues getting their comeuppance. That's what they get.
Lilith's review, Gorilla Grodd is up to some monkey business.
Exactly. And no, they've made Grodd even smarter, more capable. Although I think he doesn't seem vulnerable to anything. So I don't know how I feel about that. But because a lot of the times in modern Grodd stuff, they play him for kind of laughs. They just kind of do it as fan service, but they're really digging deep and actually making him more of a serious threat now. And that's Joshua Williamson. I think it's the best book he's writing right now, quite honestly, because it doesn't have the pressures of the other books that he's leading right now. Do you know what I mean?
And it's not Dark Crisis, anything up to do with Dark Crisis
exactly.
right now.
It's not the pressures of all the other books that he's writing, so it really shines for me. And I like the Rogues, but I like when they mess up even more. It's hilarity ensues. And the art is really great too, so it's just a really all-around great book.
It is.
I do like Grodd. He's actually one of my favorite Flash villains ever since the Super Friends. So, and it's set in the future, Charlie. So it's like a heist, like the Flash's rogues are trying to rob Gorilla City. It's pretty good. Yeah.
You came to the wrong neighborhood, idiots.
Captain Cold has this whole plan, and we know how Captain Cold's plans go.
Yeah. Oh, so am I to understand it that Gorilla Grodd talked them into heisting Gorilla City?
I feel like secretly he telepathically manipulated them just to have fun at this point. That's my working theory. But no, they were just you know what? I'm tired of robbing banks in Central City. The Flash is always going to catch. Let's go do something. We haven't done a real cool heist in a while. We want to retire. This is the one last heist retirement for the Rogues, and it's gone horribly wrong trope. So yeah.
I'm just trying to understand. It's hey, where we come to this city and we keep on getting thwarted by this one supervillain? What if we went to a city that's full of superhuman beings? That's going to be so much easier because they'll never see it coming.
Exactly. Again, you underestimate because they're not human, right? But they're still smart, sentient, capable creatures.
Strong.
They're super intelligent gorillas. They're all super intelligent gorillas.
They're strong.
Grodd was always supposed to be the dumbest one. Really, that's what he sees.
As Sol LeVar always points out, by the way.
It's a deviant.
He's not even the best and brightest of us.
That's why he's
like,
evil.
you stupid monkey.
He might as well be a human.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that sounds like a lot of fun. I may have to pick that up.
Yeah.
Because I will say this, Black Adam makes me want to buy DC books.
Oh,
you know what?
They got one.
If we get to the second book, I actually want to talk about Black Adam #5 if we have time. So, Phil.
Oh my.
It's your turn.
All right. Did anyone read Moon Knight #16?
Oh, you're going to go with a Marvel book on a Black Adam review. I mean, I expect it from Charlie, but you, Phil?
Oh, come on. I already talked
all. Moon Knight was really good. It was.
Yeah. When he's trying to make deals with, like, other vampire gangs, you know, because the Tutor's making moves, I guess, and the Tutor's going to, like, try to take... They mentioned Dracula's name, so I'm just like, eventually we're going to get that scene that was once farce, but now with being canon of Moon Knight coming in looking for Dracula.
And then Luke Cage is looking for him.
My money, you big nerd.
And then, what about that cliffhanger, Lilith?
It's not a cliffhanger. They're going to resolve it.
I mean, well, it looks like, spoilers, kids, it looks like Tutor's people snap Hunter's Moon's neck, so...
I mean, we don't like that character anyway. He was always a throwaway. He was always going to be a throwaway character.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of character that, he's the kind of character you can kill and people go like, oh, wow, is he really?
That's like being shocked that Dick Grayson's black girlfriend got fridged. Come on, be serious.
She didn't get fridged.
Not yet, but the other one did. We don't have time for that.
I'll
get with you on Nightwing news for that.
Yeah. But, so you're saying what, Hunter's Moon is Ghostmaker? Okay.
Yeah.
I know. But no,
Sorry, Ray. Sorry to do this to you, Ray.
But I don't know if he has any love for it. But yeah, I just wanted to throw it out because once again, the book's retaining its quality. It's by friend of the show, Jen McKay, who's actually...
Where's my Black Cat and Mary Jane book, Jen?
It's coming. It's coming.
I will say this, that, in the Marvel Universe, having your neck broken is not the death sentence that it is in a lot of other universes.
I know, just ask Batman.
Plot twist, he was made out of unstable molecules.
You could just get a nice adamantium neck, like, what's his name? Bullseye's guy.
It's Moon Knight. Khonshu's going to resurrect you or something.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, unless he was... Well, I honestly felt like he was being bad at his job, so maybe not.
No.
That's the punishment.
Khonshu is a petty and vengeful deity.
So. And he's still locked in Thor's basement, isn't he?
Oh my God! Are you serious?
It's different for you.
At the end of the Avengers arc, like the Age of Khonshu, the Asgardians locked him up. So.
Well, yeah, but that just means he can't go running as that's basically like work release. So like if you're his acolyte, he still can show up, but
money.
He can't just go around causing trouble. At least that's one argument to be made.
All right, let's do one more round of books because Lilith is chomping at the bit for one. All right, go ahead, Charlie.
Okay. Well, hey, let's go with Defenders Beyond. It's pretty cool. We get this whole alternate universe where Blue Marvel saves Kennedy, and Tigra is the most respected Avenger, and America Chavez gets her sister, and Utopia still exists, and Ta is the herald of Galactus, the Lifebringer, and yada yada yada. But of course, it's all a lie because of what's his name? He was a Hulk character for a bit there, Galadrian or
Galorian or whatever.
Galorian.
The cool guy.
He's always making everyone's dreams come true in a bad way.
That D-bag.
And he wants to recreate the universe to be a perfect one, but they get into this whole thing, but then you just start rebooting. Hey, talk about meta commentary. And it's always, you're just going to reboot it to make it perfect, and it's never going to be perfect.
Oh, speaking of meta commentary, a very bad plan is better than no plan. That is the moral of the story for DC.
Oh, yes.
That was so meta.
Yeah. To be fair, at least it's a plan. And it's a great tie-in to the Dungeons & Dragons film, for which we keep on seeing the trailers for. I'm so excited about that. They're using some kind of magic shield to save them. I just want to see the Shield of the Cavalier in there. at some point. Says, "Oh, it's the Shield of the Cavalier, some magical item that we're going to reference." But basically, they eventually defeat the bad guy, and then they got to go to in the next scene, the House of Ideas.
Ooh.
So we're going in there to meet the origins of.
Wow, that's a deep dive. We haven't been there for a while.
Yeah, I like it. I really like the Defenders Beyond. I mean, the Beyonder's in it, and he's kind of cool. And he's kind of like I like what they did with the Beyonder. It's not my choice for the Beyonder, but it works for the thing.
I like that he's just a brand now. You can just slap it on and just have fun.
Yeah, it's like. He's an omnipotent being, but he's also kind of chill. He's like chill now because he's
not like Mr. Sinister or Apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah, he has met other Beyonders, and they're like, oh yeah, yeah. He kind of like went off the rails there because he kind of got awoken too early and all that kind of stuff, and but it's sort of like Galactus, kind of woken too early, kind of went off the rails.
Hey, Lil's Hellfire. I did look it up. Mary Jane and Black Cat #1 comes out December 21st. By Jed McKay. By Jed McKay.
Beans.
So.
All right. So my next book that I was going to talk about, I figured I'd talk about it since we're reviewing the movie, is Black Adam #5. Now, the thing you need to know is this is a maxi series, so it's out of 12. And it's written by Christopher Priest with art by Raphael Sandoval. And this is what I was talking about, because it's like Black Adam's off the rails, and they keep saying there's no redemption for Black Adam, but obviously there's going to be redemption for Black Adam. But he's pretty brutal. He's going up against Bruce Wayne, and now that like a bunch of aliens basically decided that they wanted to be gods on Earth, and they sent a Sargon the Sorcerer down, and they're kind of like this is like a descendant of Black Adam, so it's not like the Black Adam in the movie. It's one of his descendants, and the guy's name is Theo.
Guy, the new Black.
Yeah, Theo. So that's the gist of it. And so he's like just kind of dealing with everything all at once, and he's just so miserable. And I love when they make a superhero miserable, because they should be. You shouldn't be cavalier and flippant and always cracking jokes like, say, The Flash, when it's a life and death situation and there's aliens attacking, and then of course Bruce Wayne being Bruce Wayne on your back, And I like that that's kind of like taking that perspective, and it's basically the story of Job, if you ask me, but with superheroes and aliens. So I think it's pretty neat, and I think Christopher Priest has a really good handle on the mythology. So just something I thought I'd throw out.
Yeah, I really liked the first issue. I didn't keep on reading it, which now I feel bad about.
I was going to wait for the trade, but I just picked it up because I was at the comic book store.
Really just being very mad about Black Adam at the time. I don't know who it was in this group, but someone just made me feel ashamed for liking the Black Adam book. I don't know who it was.
No, I mean, I just said, I wish that, like, in retrospect, this would have been great for the movie, honestly, but they wanted The Rock, and this obviously would have needed a younger, fresher face. I don't even know movie, like, quote unquote, movie stars anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, who would we even get?
Yeah. And,
to hold a DC film, like.
Yeah. I mean, and for what it's worth, that was the strength of The Rock in this, is that he definitely looks like
he will put butts in seats.
Well, no, that he looks like a comic book character. That you even mentioned that he's like even bigger than, he's bigger than Aquaman and Superman. Doesn't mean he's stronger; it just means he's bigger. But when he would walk and they'd make the sound of the foot on the ground, that was a very neat Foley they did with that. So, it was meant to show that every movement of this character is this old school power. And I think that worked for that character in his conception.
All right, one more, then I gotta go. All right, Crypt of Shadows #1 came out this week.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, did you read it?
Yeah, of course. No, I was going to actually put that on my Halloween.
Yeah, Marvel.
I was going to put it on my Halloween list, but I decided to go old school for mine.
Yeah.
So.
No, because there's like a bunch of short stories, Charlie, and like the Crypt Keeper host is basically Victor Strange, Doctor Strange's brother.
Oh, Baron Blood. He was briefly,
And yeah, I get a bloodline story, that's Blade's daughter, right? I believe. They get a Werewolf by Night story where Moon Knight shows up in like the last 2 pages, yeah. A Morbius story, of course. Okay. And then Lilith, that Elsa Bloodstone story where her and Johnny Storm are hunting down Spider-Man, who's once again been turned into a man spider.
A savage Spider-Man, if you will.
They did Elsa Bloodstone to please Ray. And then that final story, it's X-23 Wolverine versus Man-Thing, and it's just like they just keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and like eventually she just goes nuts, and he's just working off instinct, and she's just surviving off like eating parts of the Man-Thing, and they like just keep fighting and fighting until the Earth explodes in 1,000,000 years.
Oh, okay.
It's a love story.
Yeah, it kind of sounds. I'm thinking,
in Lil's
they
house.
like each
It
other.
is the lovers.
I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Now kiss me. Now eat me. Now, here we go.
I'm going to need that as a drop, though.
I gotta be honest with you, one thing I really liked was the Ted in the Werewolf by Night movie, just really leaning into the Ted Salas character of Man-Thing.
Giant-sized Man-Thing.
It's a more recent development, but I thought it worked very well for the character. That he's in there, he's aware now, he's not just, as the nexus of reality, he actually can communicate, but, it's all very I am Groot-ish, so.
Alright, let's get out of here. Yes, kids, I don't know, did we mention it? Yes, next week will be our Halloween episode, so we'll be bringing some spooky comics, recommending some spooky comics for you kids, so. Send us your picks for spooky comics. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Find links to all the various social medias for all the shows we do. Links to the YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button you can watch every episode we do in its full clear video.
Smash it.
And please subscribe to the Patreon. Once again, we're paying for this out of our own pocket. Every little bit helps, but $3 to $5 get you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And it's free at last. I'm almost free at last. Superhero movie brackets. We will fight. We're so close to fighting the worst superhero movie of all time. This month will be Spawn vs. Meteor Man, and then next month we're going to pick a winner from our 3 finalists.
Wiener.
We're
going to pick a wiener.
Well, we'll do that, honey. All right. So subscribe. And again, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you can vote on what you think we should do for next year for 2023 on Patreon. So, like Lil says, don't leave it to those 3 sadists we have as patrons right now. Justin agreed with you. All right. And, of course, pick yourself up some Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find that all at linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And as Little Hellfire always reminds you, if you just want to drop random money on us, Cash App link is in all the show notes. So, make it rain. Make it rain.
Make it rain.
All right, Little Hellfire. Where can people talk to you about Black Adam?
Maybe not Black Adam, but if you want to recommend some good Halloween or horror comic books, let me know. You can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram, at TikTok, or on TikTok at Lilith Hellfire69, making all the comments and none of the content. Maybe I do have some content. Come check it out and give me a follow.
Either do the 6 or do the 9. Let me get a ride on your alligator back, bro. Somebody's muffin's getting buttered. That ain't my business.
Charlie Esser.
Well, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our mothers and fathers once did, at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet things when I feel like it, and my wife doesn't want to watch something else at that time. At Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEsser. Looks at the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
Thank you for joining us, kids, for another episode. The People's Podcast! But for another week, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics!
You and me, later. In the ship, later.
See, those were some great scenes. You know? It's just like everything about it. It just, you know, it works if you're there to have fun.
They were like, give us your best Paul Rudd.
And they delivered.
Can't duplicate Paul Rudd. All right, kids. Come back next week for Halloween. And remember, tell them the Capes and Lunatics sent you. Good night.